Hey guys, what's up? It's Tim from Goes Ambient. Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be doing something I haven't done much of before. We've had a few people ask for us to do some breakdowns of how we made some of our ambient covers. So today I'm going to take you into As It Was by Harry Styles, which is the cover that started it all for the channel. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I like to do pretty much anytime we do a cover is I'll sit down like with the original song and I'll just think about how it makes me feel. And what I find interesting is a lot of the time, if you take the lyrics out on their own even, it can almost be a totally different thing. So As It Was, I remember the first time I heard it, I had this like instant like hit of nostalgia almost. I wanted to sort of capture that vibe, that essence. So I sat down with it. And I started cycling through these chords on this plugin I just got at the time. It's by a company called Teletone Audio, and it's called the Scarbo. And basically these were the chords that sort of inspired the whole vibe of the cover. So I'll play them for you now. So yeah, they're kind of the first things that happen, and then I layered another Scarbo sound on top of that with a little bit of Echo Boy, which is one of my favorite Sound Toys plugins, favorite plugins period. It's just so solid. So all together it sounds like this. So that's what you hear in the intro of the song, and that was pretty much within 10 minutes of me starting this project. And as you can kind of hear, at least for me, it instantly took me somewhere else. Underneath that, I like layered a really simple sub bass. I really like Omnisphere. It's one of my favorite plugins. This is a patch. I already know what it is. It's called the Green Taurus bass. There you go. It's just like such a standard sub, but it just adds that extra depth, meatiness to the sound. Then later on in the chorus, I layered a piano, which I pretty much actually do for all my songs. You can't even really tell it's there a lot of the time, but it just adds like sort of a nice middle texture. I'm all about those layers, so a lot of these videos I'm just going to be talking about layers. This one is just one of my favorite pianos. It's by Olaf Arnolds, another one of my favorite artists. This is how it sounds, just simple chords. That kind of comes in the drop to sort of just support it a little bit. The drop, but you know what I mean, the ambient drop. And then last but not least, I had this little Easter egg in at the end of the song, which is actually the melody from the original. I sort of just wanted to pay homage to the great song that it is, and the really catchy lead that it has. So I'll play that for you now. I used actually one of the Scarbo synths again, the same sound, and it's just layered really subtly at the top. Yeah, so I just thought that was a cool little way of like, you know, changing the sound of the lead but keeping the melody there. So that was kind of it for the sound. So once they were all there, they were the first things to get put in place. And then I wanted the drums to really be kind of, I'm not going to say an afterthought because they're important, but I wanted to get the essence of the song there first before I went into the drums, because I knew I wanted the drums to just be supportive. I didn't want them to be too dominant. I just wanted them to be kind of pushing it along gently. So as you can see, my drum group actually in this session is pretty simple. I started off with just a kick, simple kick pattern. Again, like very spaced out kicks. There's like not a lot going on. I added some snaps in, so just keeping the rhythm kind of moving there with the snaps. And like a little trick of mine is pretty much in every song almost. I actually do this thing where either at the end of the chorus or like halfway in, I'll just add one of the snares or the snaps, put a ton of reverb on it like this. So those are the main drums, and then what I do afterwards, again with most songs, I really love loops, and I usually try and put a couple of them together just to create a few different moving textures. So for this song, we have a couple loops. We have this one here, which is like some kind of cool, sounds like some kind of bongo ham drum type action. And then we got this one here. It has a really nice shuffle to it. And then we have this, which you can barely even hear, but it's in the background, just another kind of shuffle. So altogether the loops sound like this. So you can kind of like get a bit of a sway there, you know, a bit of a swing. And then with the whole kit, you know, you kind of have that like extra bit of movement, but it's still kind of in the back, you know. But yeah, those are the drums. Super simple. Really, again, just wanted to like leave space for the rest of the mix, for the sounds. And the very last thing, this is kind of the magic of this song actually. What happened is we recorded the vocals and I took this kind of ad-lib that Amelia actually came up with, which sounds like this. Right, so pretty simple. Just like put a ton of reverb on it, and then what I did is I actually ran that through a bunch of granular synth plugins. For those of you who don't even know what granular means, including myself, to be honest, basically it's these amazing things that can take the signal or the sound and pretty much just mess it up. I guess the best way I can put it. I don't really have any proper theoretical or scientific understanding of music, period, but this is one of my favorite things to do with any song. I'll take something that sounds cool, but it's like kind of just like whatever, and then I'll just try and mess it up and see what happens. So I took that loop there, I looped it up for about 20 minutes, and I just started like playing with the knobs and parameters on a couple different plugins. One of my favorite, if you're looking to start with this kind of thing, I couldn't recommend Portal more. It's made by a company called Output. And basically I just ran it through that, recorded it all. And it's kind of like thrift shopping because you spend so much time listening to garbage and then every now and then you find like this little nugget that's really cool. So for me, it was a lot of that, but we ended up coming up, there's a few layers here in the group. I called it fun stuff. But there's a few layers here. There's like 4 different layers and they're all different like clips from the recording. So this is how it sounds. So yeah, as you can see, a few weird things going on there, but it sounds really interesting to me. I really like how it takes the breaths from the vocal. And as you can see, really not any plugins on this because I just recorded what was happening to audio. I used a bit of Echo Boy, a bit of reverb again. That's kind of it. So yeah, that was the kind of the icing on the cake for me with the instrumental here. All that together, we just have the vocals. And for me, vocals is a very simple process. I pretty much religiously stack my vocal 3 times. So I have one down the middle, which is the lead. It's like mixed louder. This is it here. And then I haven't actually titled these in session, but this is going to be my 2 stacks. One of them's panned all the way to the left and the other one's panned all the way to the right. And they kind of sit in the back a bit. The chain is super simple. You can see it here. I use Waves CLA3A plugin for the compression. And I use the stock Ableton EQ, which I'm sure a lot of people will hate on me for, all the purists, but I've just always used it. It works. And then now we come to my favorite plugin. I've mentioned it before in the video, but Valhalla Vintage Reverb is the best thing ever. I pretty much use this on every vocal and every song you've ever heard with Vancouver Sleep Clinic on it. The concert hall is what I use most of the time, but really just like creates that dreamy, like long tail reverb, which kind of has become my sort of signature vocal sound. So anyone who has asked me that in the past, that's what gets used. So altogether we have 3 stacks. I'll just play them a little bit for you so you can see how that like stereo pan sounds. You know it's not the same as it was. Right, so and lastly we use I use Antara's auto-tune for pitch correction on the stacks, and that really helps sort of just tie it together, because at the end of the day I want them to all sort of sound like one vocal but just like a bit thicker and wider. And yeah, those are the vocals. This is actually another fun fact. This was Amelia's first ever time singing on a track, on a recording. So she came in with these harms. So she's in the background there, but that was really cute and cool. And now look at her go. She's like singing and everything. She's killing it. So yeah, that's kind of it, guys. That's more or less all of the layers. And it was actually a really simple and quick process, which is weird for me. It took maybe a couple hours, but that's because it was all about the feeling for this one. And the song is already so amazing, so I didn't have to do anything. Just really had to sort of let the song shine. So that was how we made our cover of As It Was by Harry Styles. Really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you want to check out the full version, it's on our Spotify now and everywhere else you listen to music. So yeah, go give it a listen, let me know what you think, and also let me know what other covers you want to hear breakdown videos for. We would love to do another one.